Hey guys, it's Kristen. It is now March 4th, 2023. It is 1 in the morning. I'm kind of being like low quiet, like low with my voice because Wiley sleeps with me in the bedroom because he's just in that stage of just, scared to sleep in his room by himself. And I was praying that sometime soon he'll go back to bed in his room, but right now he's kind of in my room, so I'm being quiet because I'm just like hoping he doesn't wake up while I do this video. But yeah, it is 1 o'clock in the morning, and I really, I was, I just had this strong feeling that I needed to do this video. I'm exhausted and I'm so tired. I have to get up early in the morning. But I felt like I really needed to do this video. And when I did the video earlier yesterday, it was it was just hard for me to, I guess, have the conversations that I wanted to have while I was doing art. I am fine with doing, I'm listening just in case if my son is getting out of bed. I'm sorry. I'm fine with doing art and doing all of that. It's just, I feel like it's easier if somebody else was talking with me in there. It's a lot easier to have conversations that way, but by myself, it's just a little bit difficult. So I didn't really get to have the conversations I really wanted to have. And so I'm guessing if you guys like the art videos a lot as well, I will separate those. So I'll have an art video separate during the week, and then I'm gonna have these videos of like intuition and just straight up just me talking. And yes, I do have purple in my hair. I did play around with my mom's stuff. She had some kind of like stamp thing, and I was playing around with it. So I put purple in my hair, and my hair is messed up because I've gone to the gym and I'm not doing my hair, so I don't really care. So whatever, not doing it. When you have natural curly hair, yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. And sometimes I just don't, and plus I don't have time. I just don't have the time. I didn't want to do it anyway. So, I've got other better things to do. But anyways, yeah. So I know Chiron has been really, messing with a lot of us, which Chiron is the wounded healer. I know we've all been kind of just as a collective been going through our own healing process, and we've been all thinking about kind of where we're supposed to be going in our lives and if we're going the right way, and just kind of over analyzing kind of everything. Everybody's kind of different on what they're over analyzing and going through in their life. But I really want to talk about, you know, definitely yesterday, Venus was conjunct Chiron. Actually, I think Jupiter was as well. And I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. But I know it's probably been, difficult for a lot of people, and it kind of, I didn't want to, yesterday, I did not want to do a video that was like a Debbie Downer because I know a lot of people don't need that right now. And I wanted to uplift the energy during that time. But I definitely did want to come on here because I do know some people that are going through some difficult mental illness and difficult situations right now in their lives. And I want to sit there and say that you are important. And anybody that is going through a difficult time right now, I just want you to know that whether or not I know you, that you are important in this life, and that this life and us being here is a blessing. And it is hard to see it that way when there's a lot going on in our lives internally or externally. And we just deal with it as humans. This is our human experience, and we're supposed to live it completely. So it is good to heal, and it's good to go through these things that have hurt you in your childhood or in your teenage years and even adult years. But also, we have to remember not to obsess over healing all the time and obsess with being this in this higher power and in this in the divine in the universe with God. And it's great to be in that position in times during the times you need to, but there is an equal balance in things, and we have to realize that we have to come back to ourselves and here on earth, because in our human body we need to be in our human experience, and that's the whole point, is dealing with trials and just events that happen in our lives. And everybody has a different path, everybody goes through things differently, and everybody deals with things differently. And that's the whole beauty of life and meeting people. And it's really sad to see that there are people going on talking about how they're no longer being friends with somebody just because they have so much negative energy or negative things going on in their life that, you know, that doesn't require letting somebody go if there's just a lot of negative things going on in their life that they have no control over. But there's just different things that can be said about that. If they are being negative and towards you, sending you bad energy and bad, just putting you down and just not a good person, that's a different story. And that is a point you do put boundaries down, and then, where you decide, you're going to cut that person out. So either way, we all need to understand that we all need to be together during this time. COVID has definitely made people very introverted and wanting to stay inside. And it's okay to be introverted. There's times for that. I'm actually pretty much equal. I like to have my space, but then I also really like to go out, and I like to talk and be active and go out. So I'm half and half, but I definitely do have to have that time, but only because I have to get other people's energy and other people's crap off of me, because if I don't, I kind of lose myself and I go crazy. I mean, I'm not saying I go like, feral, but I'm just saying like, I'm just saying I start getting restless pretty bad. Then I just got to have my alone time, because it just helps. It just helps me. But, COVID has definitely led people to be way too introverted and way too much of, I'm a, cat lady kind of attitude. And like I said, it's okay to have that and be balanced in that, but we got to start coming back out again and come together and learn that we do need each other, that we can't do things alone. Like, you can't be alone in life, because if you look at everything the way that it is, I mean, obviously you're not where you're at just by yourself. You didn't get these things that you have by yourself, completely by yourself. Even, you could say, oh, well, I've worked and I've done this and that, and I moved on my own and I did this by myself and that and blah, blah, blah. But there's different aspects of, okay, so did you, hire a moving company those people helped you? You got a job, obviously, so that company helped you. it's just we need each other to grow in this life. And we need to learn that we're all different. And there are going to be times where we don't get along with some people. But we have to learn that not everybody's going to, not everyone's going to believe what you say. And not everyone's going to be on your side on certain things in life. And that's okay. Because that's just meant to happen anyways. Not everyone's going to like certain things about you or anything like that. So I just really did want to come on here very quickly. I didn't want to do a long video because it is obviously 1 a.m. But I did really want to talk about, people that are having a hard time. I understand because I went through, especially in Pluto and Capricorn, started in 2008. And that is honestly when my life, I know before that, my life was already kind of in a flux and always changing, things happening. But really was in 2008 whenever my life, I remember, completely took a complete turn and complete different turn. And it was a one event after another, after another, after another. And I'm going to say when things start happening to you, and obviously it's you're in the unknown and you have no idea what's going on. Maybe you do. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. But a lot of the times I would fight it. I would fight it and fight it, try to control the situation like, oh, I can control this that's going on right now. And I would be so stubborn and not understand that I can't control what happens. Everybody says, oh, well, you can manifest in law of attraction. And obviously I don't. I don't really believe in that. And I'm just going to be honest. I really don't. I believe that I can ask God for something like manifestation, what people say, but I can pray to God for something. And like I said, it's either going, you pray to God for something. It's either going to be a yes, no, or not right now. I mean, that's it. And that's the same thing as what people would view, I guess, manifestation or law of attraction. It would be the same thing. But if that's how you see it, then go ahead. I'm not going to make people think that what I feel or how I think is the right way to go. That's just that's just my opinion on how I deal with it and view it. Everybody views it differently, but yeah, I feel like the manifestation law of attraction, I don't really believe it, but I believe it as more in praying to God for it and praying to God for things and it being yes, no, or not right now. And so that's how I do it. That's how I go by it. And that's just how I guess things go with that. But I had a hard time going through last 12 years of constant unexpected events, things happening that didn't make any sense of why it was happening to me. And I mean, the first thing that really happened to me was I got injured. I thought I was going to be a professional dancer. And I had actually manifested it. And it did happen, but it just wasn't supposed to happen that the way that I felt or thought it was supposed to happen. People always think that when you manifest things, that the thing you manifest, you get it, and that's and all the thoughts and everything, and that's exactly how it's going to go. But it's not. You could get the thing, yes, that you asked for, God, but it didn't turn out the way that I thought it would, because it was more of a learning lesson for me. But I didn't see it at that time as a learning lesson. I saw it as, I'm going to fight this and can try to control the situation of what's happening, because I felt when things happened to me, I felt so out of control that I went into panic mode and tried to control it and fight and fight and fight and fight. And I did that for a long, long time. I'm telling you, I did that up until God, end of last year. My mom passed away. My mom passed away last February. It's still the same stuff. And it took my mom to, I was working on things before that, but it really was until my mom passed away, until my mom to die, that I realized it just kind of clicked. Things clicked at that point. And no, it's and I want to, it's hard to go through bad things, bad, horrible things in life, and what I would feel like is bad and horrible and hurtful, painful things in life that don't make sense and will never make sense, and we'll never get an answer of why. But it's the way that you go through these things in life and how you move forward. And it's really hard. I'm going to tell you straight up, anybody that's going through something bad and horrible, whatever it is, whatever kind of event, is to know that it's not as bad and as horrible and out of control and as what you think it is and how you feel it is. And I know that's what some people may feel in the moment and for a while, but I'm telling you, that is your biggest learning lesson in life, is when you go through those kind of things in life. People that go through unexpected events and hurtful, painful events in life are the strongest people. And those are the people that you definitely want on your side or as friends, because they are the ones, they're the strong, they are the strong leaders in this world. And it does take time. And let me tell you, like I like I said, like again, I will show you. And some people they don't see my other videos, and that's fine. I will show you. I will show you right now. See this? See this? All of this? All of this is not even half of my medical records for the last 12 years. Not even half. This is probably about up until 2000, 17, maybe 18. Look at that. Look at, I've gone through some shit. Everybody does. You get through it. You got it. You're important in this life, and we need you if you're going through something. And you have to understand, if you're going through depression, I've gone through depression on and off almost my whole life. But it wasn't until I realized that I definitely liked to play the victim, And it was my thoughts and the way that I would talk to myself and bring myself down. Anytime something happened, even bad, I would victimize myself and then play the victim. I didn't realize I was doing that for a long time. I never really had, I don't think I ever had anybody be straight up with me. Besides, I have one good friend. She's always truthful, and I'm truthful with her too. So she definitely does check me sometimes, and it does make me mad. And I do that with her too. And it's just, those are the kind of people you need in your life. Those are the people that will make you the best person that you need to be in the future. And these things that are going on in your life, those things are going to make you stronger and a better person in the future. And that's why everybody talks about, oh, wounds and that patterns and cycles, and oh, my parents did this to me and that to me. But you know what? Doesn't matter if your parents did it, lover did it, friend did it, whoever did it. You're going to come in this life and you're going to have wounds anyways. It doesn't matter who it's from. And we can keep talking about the past, but we're not children anymore. We're not children anymore. We're not helpless children that can't do anything or stuck. We're adults now. We're not in diapers anymore. Come on. Get yourself up and get going. And some people may not like this. It may come off as harsh, but it's not, though, because it is in good intentions and to wake some people up of, I don't care who did what to you. I can sympathize with somebody if they come to me and they tell me something. But after a certain amount of time, you got to start looking into yourself and figuring that shit out, because you're not a child anymore. You need to stop going in the past, because you're here in the present. You're not in the future. You're not in the past. You're here now. You got to figure that out and get to the point of now. Stop looking in the past. Stop going in the past, because that's not good. You're not there anymore. That's not going to do anything for you anymore. What is there in the past that's happening right now? Nothing. You know, you stop worrying so much about who did what, and this person did this and that happened, and it guess what? It was meant to happen. That's what was supposed to happen in your path. And that there's a reason for everything. We can sit here and try to blame somebody else or blame that person that did this and that and that and the other. And yes, I understand that there are some horrible things that have happened to some people. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about more of the majority of people who aren't going through the other things. But most of the time, you got to get through to yourself and understand that you're going to get through it. You're going to get through it, and that everything's okay. You are important, and you don't need validation from anybody but yourself. Start loving yourself. Start figuring out what makes you happy. Doesn't matter what, who. Anybody around you says, if they don't like what makes you feel happy, bye. Start putting yourself first. Start putting boundaries down. Start being the person that you want to be. And stop wasting time. Because you never know. You never know when your last day is. I've gone through a life and death situation. Had sepsis, had septic shock, 2019 after had endometriosis and PCOS surgery, excision surgery. And I was told I didn't know if I was going to make it. And trust me, I will say there were 3 things that I thought. And those 3 things were, did I do enough in this life? What's going to happen to my son and my husband? And what's going to happen to my family? That's it. That's it. You know, at that time I had trouble with self-worth, and that's been one of my biggest ones that I've been working with. But I really at that time had huge problems with self-worth because I was 6 months postpartum with my first son, Wiley, and I remember at that time I was not happy with my weight. And it's weird because I think I was about 5 or 10 pounds till I hit my, pre-pregnancy weight. Just crazy. It's crazy that I even thought that way, but I was having a hard time with that. And I remember after I got out of the hospital, I realized how stupid all of the stuff that I was worried about was stupid and shit that doesn't even matter. And anybody that hasn't gone through a life and death situation, or anybody who hasn't seen a close loved one like dying in front of you or die, you start to live life differently. For sure. For sure, you start living life differently. And we think that some people that may have suicidal thoughts, and if anybody's watching that has that, I'm sorry that you're going through that. You just gotta think that, kind of put yourself in that situation, try to, and see if, because my situation was a little bit different, where I had no choice to sit there and, try to kill myself. It was something that was killing me. And I had to sit there and go, well, either I'm going to live or I'm going to die. I literally did. I had to accept that. I had to accept that I was either going to live or I'm going to die. And I was okay with dying, but at the same time, I wasn't, because I did not want to leave certain people in this life. Just didn't. And obviously, I did not feel like it was my time. I just did not. And obviously, it was not my time because I'm still here. I have so many things that have happened to me that, people wouldn't not believe if I even told them that in person. They probably think I'm making that shit up and that I'm crazy. But like I said, you saw that it's not even half of my shit. So I'm telling people there's going to be a lot of people that are going to start going, that are starting to come getting into the unknown and shit happening, unexpected things happening. And I'm telling you, I'm here. I'm here to tell you because I've been through it, and it's one of those things where I'm an expert now in it. Now, when something happens, I'm like, okay. It may sound crazy, but yeah, it's just take it. You just gotta take it. But sometimes, sometimes you can do that shit yourself and cause tower moments to come at you because of things you may have done in your life. Watch out for that. You're doing unhealthy habits, quit. And that could be with anything, honestly, anything. And we all know ourselves what our unhealthy habits are. You already know. You deny it, that's already it. So, but, and I know it's hard, but we're going through this time. We got to be together. We got to stick up for each other. We got to be there for each other because that's why we're here. The things that we're doing right now with social media and the society picking and choosing what is worthy and not worthy, and we're all worthy. We all are. We all have a bad side. We all have a good side. You got to balance it. You got to learn to balance it. And you got to learn to love yourself. We were never, a lot of people were not taught self-love and your self-worth. And a lot of people, it does happen with your parents as well. But like I said, there comes a point where you got to accept that did happen, yes, but now you're an adult and you got to step up for yourself. You got to be that parent for yourself. You got to sit there and take that identity of your child and your teenager and literally give your child and your teenager a different identity source. Because I look at somebody says something to me that is hurtful, I see me as a child, different identity source. And I see that child hurt. And I understand. And I work through that. And I go, I see that child hurt. That's me hurt. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow that person to talk to me that way. I'm not going to allow that person to cross my boundaries. I'm not going to allow that person to just send that negative shit to me. Fuck them. Teenager. I was an angry teenager. Control that anger. I learned to sit there and talk to my teenage self, because that shit comes out too. And if you try maybe doing that, you could definitely learn to heal a lot, especially with things that come at you in this life. Because that's what it is. It's life. We weren't meant to get everything that we wanted in this life. We weren't meant to all be happy in this life all the time. But stop with this whole bullshit of manifesting everything that you want and that you're going to get everything that you ask for, because that is not reality. It's not. This is reality. You already know what your reality is. That's your reality and what you're dealing with and what you're going through. And just be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself and learn. Learn to love yourself. And it's hard, especially like I said, if you did that shit in childhood. And some people, it takes longer for that journey. You can't force someone to be on the same journey at the same time with you either. You can encourage these things and try to wake somebody up. But God has different plans for everybody at different times. And it could be a timing of when you help a friend awaken the same time and help at the same time. You guys kind of grow at the same time. But it might be the opposite. And it may take years for that person and your friend to wake up and grow. But like I said, it's also not your responsibility to do that as well. It's your responsibility to do that for yourself and only for yourself. But it is your responsibility to show that to everyone as well, of what you've learned and what you've done for yourself. And, be that leader for others to see, so they can follow and do that as well. It just depends on where do you want to be in life and what you want to do. You want to still continue to be the victim? Go ahead, be the victim. Stay in purgatory for the rest of your life. That's what you want. It's going to be very fun. It's going to be awful. Or you could change. You can start growing, taking responsibility for yourself. And trust me, it's not easy. And nothing's easy in this life. But I think that's what's the fun part of it, though. Sometimes having the fight is the fun part too, And then getting through something that really was hard, an event in your life, and then you get to see the growth from when that first started to towards the end. And that's kind of a little bit of, it feels like almost a little bit of a reward and a leveled up, We're leveling up. So let's go. It's time. It's time to get going. It is time to level up. It's time to play this game. We're playing a game. Remember that. We're playing a game. Oh, I'm done with this video, guys, because I'm very tired and I could keep going, but gotta save that for another video next week. And this was my intuitive thoughts. I will post this later today, what I mean later today might be later in the morning or it might be in the evening. So yeah, after I'm done. I don't know when I'm gonna be back, sometime next week, but not gonna say because I'm not gonna jinx it. Anyways, have the rest of a great weekend and remember what I said. You are important and you are an important piece of this life and the people around you. Understand that. Even if you don't feel that, even if you don't resonate at all with that, you are, though. Understand that. This life is a blessing. This life is a blessing. Look at what you have around you. Look at who is in your life, what you have. Look at everything. You are blessed. You may not have everything that you want that maybe Sarah or Sally or Laura has over fucking down street, Cityville, whatever you want to, whatever. But who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter if you have a fucking BMW or a fucking, what is it, Mercury. Because I love that car, even though it's what's that song, the Mercury song? I know, anyways. It doesn't matter. It's a car. It gets you from A to B. But it doesn't, but that's not like, that's not. I'm telling you, look what you have, who you have, everything around you. You are blessed and you are loved. You are an important part of this life. And remember that, please. I know there's a lot of people suffering right now, and there are a lot of people hurting. That's why I wanted to do this video. I felt like I really, really, really needed to do this video. And I wanted to talk about this when I was doing my art, but for some reason, it wasn't coming out. And I feel like I was having a hard time because I wanted to talk about it. And I was fighting myself, and I feel like I was fighting my spirit guides, and they're like, don't talk about it right now. And I was like, well, I really wanted to talk about it, but it wasn't the right time. And you already know that there was some weird shit going on with my laptop and my ancestors, spirit guides, and definitely my mom was there. I'm telling you, my mom was there. She made it known that she was there. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. Before I put this on, there was this orb that was literally right in the corner of the right side, literally like right above my laptop. And it went like over my laptop, and then it went up to the ceiling. And I'm like, I've been doing a lot of healing, and I've been doing a lot of meditation and a lot of work with myself. And I feel like I've been upgrading. I feel like I've upgraded a lot. Like the last 2 months since starting in January from now, I feel like I upgraded. I don't even know. It just feels like another dimensional. I don't know. It's crazy. Starting to, I've been hearing the ringing a lot in my ears. I've had that in the past, like for years. I've had that, but it was very, like, it was not very often. When I started doing my healing, literally last year, I've had constant ear ringing in different ears, ringing in different frequencies, like different, it's hard to explain. Like it would ring low and then ring high and then ring low and high, or be like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I had one night where because like I said, I don't drink, I don't hardly ever drink. And I went to a wedding. This was like in December, last December. And I drank a little bit too much that night. And I remember I was asleep, but I was having a hard time sleeping. And I will never forget, I had this really, loud, loud ringing in I want to say in my left ear. And I'm telling you, I've never had ringing that loud ever. It was it was pretty loud. I had three ringing, three ring, three rings in my ear, like one after another. So after that one, then it was about a few seconds. And then it was another loud ring. And I'm telling you, it was louder than the first one. And then it got loud. And I was sitting there going, okay, is this in my mind? Am I going crazy or what's happening? And then the last one was loud. And all I took that as was there was something going on that I needed to pay attention to, or I felt like I needed to like stay up, or like I needed to pay attention to myself and my body because maybe that's something was going on with that. But yeah, I've recently, and people may say that I'm crazy, and I know I'm not, trust me. I mean, I can say I'm a little bit crazy. I mean, everybody has a little bit crazy in them, but the last, I want to say week, I've been hearing like not like voice talking in like sentences or just but I've been hearing just like words, and it's a little bit scary. So I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out how to handle that, because that's that's a lot to handle, especially when I don't really have anybody that is like a psychic friend or medium friend or that hears voices and talks. But a lot of people there's a lot of people that don't believe in that, and that's fine. I'm not going to sit there and try to convince somebody to believe in that, but I'm just saying, going through this healing journey and my spiritual journey, uh I'm hearing things now. So and who knows, maybe it's because I've had not a lot of sleep either, because I've been really busy this week too. So, who knows? But I feel like I definitely am. I've been upgraded like big time the last 2 months. And I've done a lot of healing and I've done a lot of good work. And I feel like I'm going to continue to do that for the rest of this year. I feel like this has been very vital, and I have been very blessed to be able to even not work right now. And I've been able to take the time to work on myself and better myself. And I feel like that's exactly what I needed, because I was going downwards pretty bad. And now I have now I have the self-confidence that I didn't have for a long time, like long, 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 long time. So I hope that encourages someone to do that. And like I said, I'm not a therapist, so I don't tend to, I don't, and also I'm not a doctor either. So if you are having issues and medical issues, you've got things going on that maybe you don't you know or understand, please go see a doctor. Really do. Because trust me, it's and fight for, because I know the medical system. I could talk about the medical system for a long time. I worked in the medical. Yeah, I just yeah. Anyways, if any women have any questions on endometriosis or PCOS, I am definitely willing to answer any questions. If you've got any questions on that, or infertility, sepsis, if you have any injuries with arthritis or bulge disc, osteoarthritis. I'm so much that I'm just like, if you have any questions, I'm willing to answer any of the questions that you have, or concerns or anything. I am definitely a big advocate on women's health. And yeah, any questions, I'm definitely here to, and even if you want to talk, I'm definitely here to listen. I'm always willing to listen to people, and that they, if you need someone to listen to you or talk to. So yeah, anyways, I just keep going here. So yeah, a bye. No, but really, I really need to go. So I will see you sometime. I'm fucking tired. I'm going to bed. And I'm gonna probably regret this in the morning, but duty calls. Okay. Bye-bye.